but let me go into a demo of sort of how this looks at a more at a bigger scale. So what I have here, I'm in Canvas now, and most learning management systems have these features built in where you just unlock the next step of an assignment only before you finish the previous one. So here we have set up like a progressive code assignment with 3 steps. So we start out with a basic linked list that they have to implement. Then they have to add more functionality to that, make it a doubly linked list. And then finally, they have to implement bubble sort with this linked list. So it's not that we give them the full assignment description all at once. I cannot click on anything else, but I can only click on this basic linked list. And then what we do in this assignment, we'll give students an assignment description right here. In this first part, you will create a basic linked list where they have to create a couple of methods, and they have to add a main method to test it. So this is also quite bare bones. ChatGPT can help you with this, but it's also quite easy to just do it yourself. So let me start from a template. So this is sort of what I start with, just an empty Java class. And then as a student, I can write my code in this. So let me do that. Wrote some code in it. I can run this quickly to see if it works. But the goal here is for the student that we can give them feedback immediately. So we have here quite a simple implementation here of a linked list. We can hand this in, and now we'll get immediate feedback on the code that we implement. So we check, did you implement a node class, the constructor? Did you implement a toString method, which we didn't do yet? So we want to add that, and it was actually not part of the initial assignment description requirements yet. So this is also an example of sort of implicit requirements. But we get some points for this, and we can improve this on the way. So you can see this right here. Once it's done running, we also run some code quality checking here. But basically, we immediately scored 68%, and this means we have more than 60%. So this unlocks the next step of this assignment. Of course, as a student, the goal here is, to be able to get feedback really fast. So it's a lot easier to just spend the time in doing the actual assignment and learning it instead of cheating. So I can now go to the next step where we add more functionality. You can see I get a grade item, and now a new assignment description has become available. So only now I get prompted that we have to add some more functionality to the linked list, and we're going to transform it to a doubly linked list. So we're going to add a prepend method, a head method, and a swap method. The important thing that we're doing here as well is we make the students change existing methods of what they just did. So if they simply start out with sort of this step and do that in the first assignment, they will get a lot less points. But if they just hand in the first assignment here, they won't be able to figure that out. They have to change sort of things all over the code. So that's another strategy to make sure that it's harder for them to sort of cheat their way into this assignment. So again, I can just create a submission here. I can start from what I did previously, and sort of let's add the new assignment. Let's add part 2. So again, I can change all of the code right here to the new one. And if you compare this code to the previous part, you will see that I've changed stuff in a lot of methods that were completed in the previous part of the assignment. So again, once I hand this in, we will have automatic immediate tests again for this particular assignment, but some more and some different ones because the requirements have changed now in the second part of the assignment. So hopefully we get a good grade here again, and that if we get a good grade here, it will unlock the next one. So again, we can take a look at some of these things. It's all running. There's a lot of sort of, because this is a sort of a Java object-oriented programming kind of assignment, there's a lot of code structure tests. So just checking, did you implement this method? Did you do this in the method? And then a lot of unit testing, because that's also what we do. So again, now we get 85% for the second part of the assignment, and that means the third part is unlocked automatically. So now I can press this next button, and that will actually unlock the final part, which is sorting. So the original goal for this particular assignment in the beginning, before we transformed this into a progressive assignment, was that it just did like sorting with a linked list. And that's very easy for students to just, either just find online and they can just pop it in. But now they sort of are taken through the different steps to get to that. So instead of having one big assignment, we split this up in 3 smaller parts that are all slightly different and sort of slightly change things. So again, if we look at the code here, it's now a little bit bigger, or just over 100 lines. And there has been stuff changed all over. So what we can do now again is we can go to the next step, and we can go into sorting. And now this assignment description is available. And again, it's really small, so we don't want to give them too much information here. So we want to add a sort method using the bubble sort algorithm and the previously made swap method to swap nodes. So again, we can do this and open this up and then put in the code and submit this. So again, now it's running similar tests again, but now if we look at the actual code, now there should be a sorting function in here, which is the final part of this assignment using bubble sort. And again, students will get feedback instantly and a grade instantly, and this will finish sort of the overall assignment. And of course, in the grade book, you can also do things here where the first 2 parts are a very small amount, and then only like step 3 gives like the majority of the grade of this assignment, to sort of further make sure that students sort of go through the steps of handing in different parts of the assignment, and also having sort of a test-driven workflow where not all of the requirements are mentioned before, but they sort of work with an auto grader to get more requirements out of it. And again, we get 84% because we have not great style here.